The data engineering market is going to cross 100 billion by 2028. Look at this big data landscape. There are so many new tools coming every year. This industry is booming, and this is the best time to get into it. But how? What should you focus from all of these 1000 tools? What are the topics and tools we need to learn? Don't worry, you will get all of these answers in this video. Just take a pen and paper and start taking notes. And I have a surprise for you at the end that will help you to learn data engineering faster. I want to start this video by focusing on the foundation. If your fundamentals are clear, then no matter what tools come into the market, you will always feel confident about yourself. It will be much more easier to adapt new tools. All you have to do is start with this video that I have available for free on my YouTube channel, the Fundamentals of Data Engineering Masterclass. This 3-hour video will give you everything you need to know about data engineering from the fundamentals point of view. We have discussed everything from data engineering, life cycle, different storage system, data processing, extract, transform, load, data architecture in detail, data warehouses, slowly changing dimensions, understanding cloud computing for data engineering, and case studies of the top companies. Believe me, this 3 hours of the video alone will give you most of the knowledge you will gain from any of the course available in the market. Your fundamentals will be clear for data engineering. You will have clear understanding of what data engineering is and where you want to go next. If you don't believe me, just open this video and see. 99% of the comments are positive, and they told me that this video actually helped them to understand data engineering from the scratch. People really found it helpful. So if you're just getting started and if you don't know what is the first step you should take, start with this 3-hour free video. Once you do this, then your fundamentals are quite clear. You know what data engineering is and what are the different things available. Once you do this, then you will have the good foundation understanding of the different topics. Consider them like a different dots, and each dot represents a different topics. Next step for you, it is to go in depth about each and every different topic that are available. Now here's the thing, you don't really have to learn each and every tool available or the skill available in the market. All you have to do is just focus on highly demanded tools or the frameworks that are used for data engineering. And that is what we will be focusing throughout this video. I will give you the structured learning path of every single thing that you have to learn. You can't learn everything, and you don't really have to learn everything. If you look at this big data landscape, you understand there are so many tools available. It will take your entire life just to learn all of these tools. We just need to focus on highly demanded tools that are being used in the industry. So we are going to focus on 20% of the tools that will give us the 80% of the result. This is what we call as a Pareto principle. So to start with, we will focus on the foundation skills. The foundation skills are learning Python and SQL. You have 3 choices available in programming language. One is the Java, second one is the Scala, and third one is the Python. You can easily ignore Java and Scala because most of the companies are moving from all of these languages to Python. Mainly Python is like the king of data engineering because it has so many packages available. The development time is quite faster. So due to all of these reasons, companies mainly use Python. And throughout my career, I've hardly used Java and Scala. Mainly I focus on Python. So if you are just getting started, I urge you to learn Python. Now, why do we need a programming language for data engineering? The reason to learn programming language is, as a data engineer, you will be writing a lot of transformation jobs, automating some of the workflows, deploying code, and many more things. So understanding the programming language is very important. Now, if you are someone who is just getting started and have a fear of, I don't know how to code or how will I learn the coding and all of the other things, believe me, it takes around 1 month just to get a good enough understanding. You don't need to become a top level coder. All you need to do is just understand how to write basic Python code. So here are the different things you need to learn about Python. Don't worry, you will get the detailed documentation about each and every skills that you need to learn for Python, SQL and everything. Second thing we need to learn is that SQL, structured query language. Now everything we do online gets stored inside the database. For example, if you use Instagram, your profile information, post you like, comment, all of these information are getting stored somewhere. The somewhere location is called as a databases. SQL is the way we communicate with all of these databases. Just like we use different language like English, Hindi to communicate between us, SQL is the way we communicate with the databases. Like if you want to read something, if you want to insert something, if you want to delete something, all of these different things are possible using SQL. And as a data engineer, you will be spending 90% of your time working with the data. Like you'll be fetching it, you'll be doing some transformation, like, adding something, removing something, loading it somewhere. All of these different things you can do easily with SQL. So if there is one skill that you cannot skip, it's this SQL, structured query language, right? This is the most important skill, and if you go in the interview also for data engineering, this is the main skill that you will be tested on. Here are the things you need to learn for SQL. You can learn all of these different things free on YouTube or just by googling the topic name, and you will get plenty of tutorials. I also have courses available on all of these different topics, so if you are interested, you can check the link in the description. Believe me, you can learn all of these different things for free. All you have to do is just take extra effort, and if you don't want to take that extra effort, you can always check out my courses. Now this should take around 3 to 4 weeks to learn like basics of Python and SQL to get you enough confidence. Now I don't want you to spend like 3 to 4 months just by learning programming language or just by brushing up your SQL skill. What we really want to do is that quickly finish these basics topics so that we can start learning the core data engineering tools like Spark, Kafka, Apache Airflow, and there are so many different things we need to focus on. So quickly finish this. Don't spend your like 3 to 4 months just by doing Python and SQL. You will never complete all of the topics. All you have to do is just focus on the topics that I suggested and move forward. Just take action forward so that you will make progress. If you just stay inside the cycle of making your Python skill perfect or making your SQL skill like perfect, you will never get out of it. You will stuck in the loop. So all you want to do is just set a deadline for 3 weeks. I will do Python, I will do SQL, all of these different topics I will try to cover. Once you do that, move to the next thing, right? As you move to the next thing, you will make progress. So now in the next step, I'm going to suggest like different approaches. Bear with me. If you just follow these different steps for the next 2 to 3 months, you will have more knowledge than 90% of the data engineer available, right? You will work on your foundation and also the core skills like hands-on with the projects. So all of these different things will be available to you. Just follow this framework that I'm suggesting you right now. So you have already watched the video of fundamentals of data engineering. That video already gave you the good overview of foundations of data engineering. What we really need to do is that we need to build our strong foundation. This is like a base of our knowledge. One book I highly suggest you is Fundamentals of Data Engineering. This is the book available, Fundamentals of Data Engineering. It is around like 350 pages long. This one book will change your life completely because this will give you the foundation of data engineering no resources on the internet can give you. My video will give you the overview. If you want to go in depth about the particular foundation topic, then you can refer this book. I will tell you how you can read this book efficiently. I have a video about it, but in this video I will also give you the guide about it. So we are going to attack with two different things. One is by building the strong foundation, so we have like a good base, and second is by understanding and learning the hands-on skill that are important for our job. Okay, so we'll be focusing on two different things together so that you build a strong foundation and also learn the hands-on skills that are needed. So before you start learning data engineering, it is important to build a schedule around learning something new, right? You can learn anything, right? You can learn video editing, data science, machine learning, whatever you want to do. But you need to have a daily routine around this. This is where most of the people lack, because even if you purchase like my course or any of the course available in the market, if you are not consistent enough every single day that your goals are not clear, then you are likely to give up after 1 week. So this is very important. I want you to tell me right now, how many hours are you willing to invest into learning and upskilling data engineering? My suggestion is daily 3 hours of effort is good enough, right? For next 3 months, if you can spend daily 3 hours, even if you're doing a job, if you're in college, whatever it is easy to spend 3 hours on to learning. If you say that I don't have a time, just open your phone and check your screen time. If you spend more than 1 to 2 hours on Instagram, YouTube, and any other application, then you can remove that time to learning something new. I understand learning something new can be boring, little bit difficult and uncomfortable task. But if you want to grow in your career and if you want to move to the next level, this is the price that you have to pay. Learning is quite easy. What is difficult is getting consistent and showing up every single day. And this is what we need to do right now. You can write the comments below also that I am going to spend X hours learning data engineering. My suggestion is spend 3 hours and I will tell you how you can utilize this 3 hours. Now, once you set the number of hours that you are going to learn, we want to divide our learning into two different steps, right? One is we are going to read a book. So 1 hour daily you will be spending just by reading this book. Even if you don't understand anything, even if you just read one page, even if you read just 5 pages, that is good enough. We are in a marathon, we are not in a sprint. So we want to take like 3 months journey to achieving a desired result, right? It is going to take time. Anything you want to achieve in life takes time, right? You have to build a consistent effort over the period of time. So the book that we have is the Fundamental of Data Engineering. This book, we will spend 1 hour learning this particular everything from this particular book, right? You just open the book, you start reading it. Whatever things that you understand, you underline it. You want to take notes, up to you. We don't worry about finishing this book. All we worry about building a consistent habit daily onto reading this book. So every single day for 1 hour, we will remove all of the distraction like mobile phones, every single thing that you have that is distracting you, and just focus on reading this book. While you do this, like 1 hour goes into reading this book, and next 2 hours, let's say if you decided like you want to learn daily 3 hours, next 2 hours will be upskilling onto a particular tool, right? And the tools that we will talk about right now. Now, to learn core data engineering, we have multiple things. First is you need to learn about the data warehouse technology. Everything you do as a data engineer is likely to get stored inside a data warehouse. In the end, businesses want to run analytics queries and find insights, and data warehouses are designed for that kind of workload. Like if you want to find the answer of what was the revenue of our product last year compared to this year, which product we sold into this particular region compared to this year to last month, or whatever it is, right? If you want to find the analytical answer, data warehouse is the solution for that. So learning data warehouse has two parts. One is learning the foundation of data warehouse, which you are most likely to learn throughout this fundamentals of data engineering book, and I will also give you the topics. And second is learning about the tool where you can perform all of these different things. Like, there are different tools available such as BigQuery, Snowflake, Amazon Redshift, Synapse Analytics. All of these are the different data warehouse tools where you can perform all of this foundation that you learn. For the foundations, here are the things that you can learn, such as OLAP versus OLTP, dimensional modeling, extract transform load, ER modeling, understand the fact and dimension tables. All of these different topics are given to you. So if you want, you can learn it. Most likely you will also learn from the book, and then you want to learn a tool that is in the high demand. So we have like multiple choices available that we just talked about. We have the Google BigQuery, we have the Snowflake, we have the Amazon Redshift, we have the Azure Synapse Analytics, and there are many different things like Teradata, and all of these are available. You don't want to learn everything right now. You just want to learn one tool where you can practice all of this foundation. And my suggestion is learn Snowflake, because the demand for Snowflake is growing. I have attended a lot of Snowflake events, and big companies are moving to Snowflake because of the modern capabilities. So simple things, learn the foundation of data warehouses that I just gave you, and learn Snowflake. These are the different topics that you need to cover around the Snowflake. You can just read the documentation, you will find a bunch of YouTube videos. If not, I have a course available. If not that, I will give you the complete documentation at the end about it. So don't worry, okay? Where to learn, I will give you the answer at the end. Just focus on where you need to go and just build a structured path for yourself right now. Now this should take around 2 to 3 weeks. Like daily, if you invest like 2 hours onto learning by course, watching videos, or doing hands-on, and 1 hour of reading book. Once you finish learning about data warehousing, it is time to learn about data processing. This is the central part of data engineering, because this is where you will do all of the transformation, right? You extract data from multiple sources like RDBMS, web analytics, APIs, like a lot of places. Then you do the transformation. This transformation part, right, extracting and transformation and loading, is done by data processing. Now there are two different approaches available. One is which we call as a batch processing, where we take the chunk of data together and then we process this then every hour, every 4 hours, every day, every weekly basis, according to the requirement. And second one is real-time data processing, like you see it on the Google Maps or on the Uber application, where you get the notification as the things are happening. So you, as a data engineer, you will be handling both of these data. I will give you the suggestion for the tools also. So for the batch processing, we have the tool available called as Apache Spark, one of the most highly used tool. Like if you are a data engineer, Apache Spark should be the center of your skill. No matter which job you apply for, Apache Spark will be there. So it is very important to learn Apache Spark. So here are the things that you can focus on learning Apache Spark. These are the different foundation concepts that you can learn, and then you can learn about the tool that powers Apache Spark environment. Like there are many available just like data warehouse. So we have the Google Dataproc, we have AWS Glue, we have Databricks. These are the different tools available in the market. These are just the environment that powers Apache Spark. The center is Apache Spark only. So you'll be writing the Apache Spark code there only, but just the environment will be different. My recommendation is to use PySpark, which is the combination of Apache Spark and Python. So you can write Apache Spark code in the Python language, and the tool that you should practice Apache Spark on is the Databricks. Databricks has the free version, community version available for free, so you can go and practice there. So here's everything you need to learn about the Databricks and Apache Spark together, so you can go forward and start learning about it. I will give you all of these resources at the end, so don't worry about it. Second thing, we need to focus on real-time data streaming, and for real-time data streaming, we have one tool available called as Apache Kafka. It is a distributed event store and stream processing platform, so you can process your data in real-time basis. Here are the different topics that you can learn about Apache Kafka. Now understand, in data engineering, we are building a data pipeline, or we are just executing different tasks. For example, let's say if you want to build the weather data pipeline, right? So first step will be to extract data from the weather API. Second step is to transform our data, and third step is to load this data to some data warehouse or storage location. Now this event should happen into the proper sequence. Like first the extraction should happen, then the transformation and the loading. You cannot load data without transformation, or you cannot do the transformation without extracting, right? They should happen in proper sequence. So this is what we call as the orchestration or workflow, right? We are building a proper workflow to execute different tasks. And for that, we also have one tool available in the market, highly used. Most of the big companies use this. This is the open source tool available called as Apache Airflow. It was developed by Airbnb. They open sourced it, and now every company is perform data engineering using Apache Airflow. These are the different things you should focus on Apache Airflow. It should take around 2 to 3 weeks. We'll talk about this more at the end of this video. Now this entire thing should take around 1 to 2 months of consistent effort, right? If you are consistent enough, then you will finish all of these things. You will already have the confidence. Like most likely you can finish this book within 2 months, right? This shouldn't take long because this book is not that big. The language used inside this book is quite easy to understand. Also, it's like not too technical book. So this book should take around 2 months to finish, and all of the different concepts that we talked about might take around 2 to 3 months, depending on your effort and the consistency that you put in. At this point, you already have the understanding of what data engineering is. You are already a data engineer because you finished some of the projects that I mentioned in the resource document. You learn all of the different skill set, and now you start connecting different dots that we built at the initial stage. So different topics, you'll understand, okay, this topic, the partition topic, is available in Apache Spark, also available in Kafka, also available in this concept. The RDD or the data frames are also available in Python, Spark. All of these things will start making sense. So at this point, you are a data engineer. You know like 60 to 70% of the things. To reach 100%, here are the things you can learn. You understand, we are processing big data, huge volume of data, and you can't even store all of these data onto your local computer. So forget about processing them. This is the reason we need cloud computing platforms. As per this Gartner quadrant, we have the 3 top cloud providers available: AWS, GCP, and Azure. As per the recent trends, Azure is taking over the market because it is doing a lot of innovations around data engineering and data processing also. So a lot of companies are focusing on going towards the Azure path. So if you are someone who is just getting started and want to learn one cloud computing platform, my recommendation is Azure. I used to advocate AWS always in my previous videos if you have seen that, but I've seen the shift in trends. A lot of people are moving towards Azure, so this is the best time to learn it. But here's the thing, once you learn one cloud computing platform, let's say if you already know AWS and GCP, you don't really have to migrate to Azure, because if you know one cloud computing platform, you can always learn any cloud. The foundations are same, right? The fundamentals of cloud computing like object storage, the data warehouses, the Spark, all of these things on the foundation level are the same. The UI is different, the way you do the processing it might be different, the permissions and everything, but the foundations are all the same. So if you already know one cloud, relax, you don't have to worry about anything. If you don't know any cloud computing platform, then I will recommend you to start with Azure. I have some projects available for Azure, AWS, and GCP. All of this for free on my YouTube channel and in my course also. So I will give you all of these resources at the end. Don't worry. If you reach till this section, then just write the comment below, I am going to become a data engineer. just by committing this, so that you can come back again and tell me your progress every month that you do. Initially, I told you like data engineering is growing. With the growth, there are new tools are coming, and out of these like thousands of tools, there might be some approaches or the tools that our industry might be adopting, and we also need to learn to adapt to the trends, right? So now we will talk about some of the trends that you should focus on. And one of the most important trend that is going in the market right now is open table format. Let me explain you. Okay, so we talked about data warehouses. We also have a concept of data lakes. I'll give you the brief about it. I'm going to make a detailed video, but I'll give you the brief. Like, to store the data in data warehouse, we need to structure our data. Like, we need to transform our data first and then load it. Now, the problem with this approach is that anytime you want to change something, let's say if you want to add a column, if you want to remove something, if you want to change the data type, you will have to make changes onto the data warehouse also. You will have to make changes onto the script also. You might have to load data again, like we call it as a backfilling to the data warehouse. So this takes a lot of time. And to solve this issue, we have a concept called as a data lake, which is kind of like the centralized repository where you just dump all of your data onto storage location like S3, and as per your requirement, you only read the data that you need, then process it. Now the problem with data lake is that it does not have the ACID properties. So every transaction that you make is not atomic. If two persons are trying to write the data, there are chances that it might get corrupt. So versioning of the data is quite difficult to handle if you want to update something, delete something around the data lake, because these are the pure files, right? Making changes, updating, deleting is quite complicated. To solve all of these issues, we have the new concept called as a open table format. They are just a layer between your processing system and your storage system, so that you get all of the capabilities of the data warehouse like ACID properties, and also flexibility like data lake, so that you can read data as per your requirement. You'll understand all of these things as you start getting into it. From outside, it might look difficult, but once you start learning it and understanding from the foundation point of view, all of these are easier. That is the reason I told you that work on your foundation first, because if your foundations are clear, any new approaches, any new tool that comes, you will always have the understanding, okay, they're just trying to do this, I understand about it, and if any work comes, I will figure it out. Okay, so foundations are quite important. Now for this, we have many different tools available in the market, such as Apache Iceberg, we have Hoodie, we have Database Delta Lake. I will recommend you to explore Apache Iceberg. I have a video coming onto this topic, so you will get the understanding about this too. After that, we also need to learn about the modern data stack. These are the different stack available. The concept of modern data stack we always talk about on this channel is that different companies or the startups see the problem in the data engineering landscape. They see that companies are spending a lot of time building data pipeline, companies having issues with the monitoring data pipeline. So what they do is that they build a different products to solve these different things. This is called as a modern data stack. They try to solve the problem of data engineering by introducing the new and simpler approach. And every day new tools come into the market and try to solve something. Out of all of this, one tool actually was able to gain the good advantage is called as the DBT, data build tool. Concept of DBT is quite simple. Okay, we always do the ETL, extract, transform, load, that we talked about. In this process, every time we want to make changes, right, we will have to do the transformation layer change, we'll have to do the changes on the database level. All of these things are required, like that we talked about in the case of data lake. In this case, we do the ELT, extract, load, transform. So you extract your data, directly load it onto the data warehouse, and then DBT will connect to the data warehouse tool, and they have their own modeling system like SQL, where you can write and get the data like transform, and where you can write your script and do the transformation then and there only to get the required data. New concept, you can explore about it. Definitely right now you don't have to worry about it. First focus on your core foundations, and then once you do that, the path will open for you. Okay, all of these things will start making sense. Might not make sense right now, but once you go forward, all of this path will open for you. Another thing that I recommend you is to get good at Docker, right? Kubernetes, you don't really have to learn it, but Docker is important. As a data engineer, you have to do a lot of environment setup, like you want to do the environment setup for Kafka, Apache Spark, Airflow. Now you can't keep installing them again and again by setting up the environment path, doing all of the configuration in your PC. The best approach is just pull the Docker image, run it on your local PC, all of the configuration will be stored inside the Docker file, so that you will save lot of time worrying about the configuration and directly start doing the work. In real world also, you will be mainly using Docker images, pulling them, running them on a cluster and do the work. So stop worrying about setting up the right configuration in your PC. Just pull the Docker image and you are good to go. This will save a lot of time. So learning Docker is important. Kubernetes, you don't really have to learn it. And while you do all of this, I highly encourage you to read technical blogs from like Netflix, Zeroda, Airbnb. They share their technical architecture online. What are the problems they're trying to solve and the approaches around them. So you can also upskill around it. I'll share the link in the documentation about all of these things, so you can read them. Medium is a good website also to upskill. We have our publication data video available. You can read about this. We also share some of the trends around data engineering, so you can follow us. Now at the start of the video, I talked about the surprise that I was going to give you. This is the free ebook I'm giving you, Complete Guide to Become a Modern Data Engineer. This ebook has everything that we talked about in detail. Why you should learn some particular thing, how to learn it, where to learn it. Every single thing that we talked about is available over here. So you can just check the link in the description. You will find that. On top of this, okay, here is the complete data engineering roadmap that contains everything for free. So if you are confused and if you don't want to purchase any course, and if you want to go onto the self-learning path, this free roadmap will give you all of the resources available online, so you can start learning it. Then I have to plug my course. If you're someone who don't want to go onto the self-exploration path and want everything given to you, I have the complete bootcamp available around data engineering that comes with the 6 different courses. You can see Python, SQL, data warehouse with Snowflake, everything that we talked about into structured format. You also get access to all of the notes that we have, so you would have to go to the external resources always. Everything is available to you. We also have the Discord community available around this, so you can ask your doubts. And we have more than 14 to 15 projects available in this entire bootcamp. So if you're interested, you can also check the link in the description. We have the limited time offer going on. This was everything about data engineering. Again, if you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section. I will be happy to help you out. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.